Well, g'day everyone and welcome back to the channel. Listen, if you missed last week's episode, I asked everybody if they want to see Alison included more in the videos. Everybody overwhelmingly said yes, but I had to come to a compromise. She still has to work, so I've had to move inside the van to start the video this week.
Trying to reduce the work this year.
Hopefully she does. Alright, I tell you what, we've got an absolute ripper of an episode coming up here today. We're in our last free camp in Queensland before we cross the border. We can't wait to show you because it's such a beautiful place, isn't it, Al?
It is quite a beautiful place, a nice little surprise we found.
Definitely. We're a little bit apprehensive because a lot of black soil here and it looks like a bit of rain. We know what happens when you mix rain and black soil together. But we're going to stick it out and see how we go because it is our last one in Queensland, as we said. I'll take you outside in a minute and show you what it looks like. But in the meantime, go and get yourself a cold drink, get your feet up for the next 20-30 minutes or so, as Alice and I push further south into New South Wales and onto Lightning Ridge. Hi, I'm Steve.
And I'm Alison.
We decided a couple of years ago that we'd work hard and save all of our money and start living life on our own terms.
So we bought a caravan and hit the road on a trip for two all around Australia.
So why not come and join us every week for our adventures? Well, as we said in the intro, we're at our last free camp in Queensland. Oh, hang on. No, we're going to stay at the pub at Hebel just to celebrate crossing the border in our big lap. So we'll do a night there before we move on to Lightning Ridge. But I've got to tell you, for a free camp, or one of the last free camps that we're going to do in Queensland, geez, I'll tell you what, we're really going well at this joint. I'll give you a look around in a minute, but at the moment, got a couple of snags on the barbecue for lunch. We don't have a sausage sizzle too much, but when we do, I always enjoy it. And when you got this sort of setting to have it round, makes it just that little bit better. Check this joint out. What a beautiful place. We're camped right here on the edge of the river. There's not a soul around us. Absolutely beautiful. Certainly the place that we dreamt about staying at when we first bought our caravan and started our big lap around Australia. Alright, we're going to get on with finishing lunch. I'm going to grab Alison. We'll probably sit out here this afternoon, get a bit of a fire going, a bit of a cheese platter. It's a little bit different for us. A bit of a cheese platter. Just watch the sun go down over this beautiful scenery around here. In the meantime, I'll throw the drone up, give you a bit of a look around. Well, I know not more than 10 seconds ago I said, yeah, I'd throw the drone up and give you a bit of a look around. But what I didn't check was the flight path around here. And there's an airport right next to us here at Dirranbandi, so I can't get authorisation to fly. It's a beautiful place to come and stay as you're heading south towards Lightning Ridge. All right, as promised earlier, we're going to have a cheese platter tonight and watch the sunset, but a big storm rolled into town. So now it's just a drink inside the caravan with a bowl of cheese rings. Classy.
Very classy.
Well, good morning and welcome to our final free bush camp in Queensland. We're going down to the border town of Hebel today. We're going to stay at the pub. We decided this morning that every time we cross the border we're going to find the nearest hotel or eatery and we're going to celebrate by having dinner together wherever that is. So that sounds like it'll be a pretty good plan, eh?
Sounds like a good plan for us, yes.
I don't think we could have picked a better time to escape from here. The temperature's really starting to ramp up already. It's about 8:30 in the morning. It's already well into the 30s and the flies are really starting to become next level. So
they're very friendly.
Yeah, so we'll shoot across the border very, very soon. Just before we leave town today though, we're going to go into Dirranbandi, or is it Dirranbandi? Dirranbandi. We're just going to head into Dirranbandi this morning. We're going to check out the sculpture parks. Apparently it's not a bad walk to go and have a look at that. We're also going to go and get some fuel at the IOR petrol pump. They have 24-hour pumps out here in the country. They go all the way around the country. You know, you need to be aware of when you do come out though, most of the garages that we see when we come out here, particularly IORs, only pump diesel.
Yes, only a diesel option, yeah.
So anyway, our time in Queensland has just about come to an end. I'm going to throw in a montage here for about 30 seconds of all the places we visited. I hope I've got the technology to do that. Anyway, you'll see right now. All the towns that we come to out in the country have something very unique about them. And we've come into Dirranbandi today, and I've got to say, I've got a little sculpture park here. It's really nice, isn't it?
It is quite beautiful, yes.
It's right near the visitor centre. But when you come into town, there's plenty of barbecues and picnic tables, nice shady trees to go and sit under, because it's quite a warm day, but it's quite nice in here, isn't it?
It is. It's not too bad at the moment, but it's early in the day, but yeah, good shade.
It's a beautiful little town. Anyway, give you a bit of a look around. It is an RV friendly town, so I'm sure it's got all the facilities that RV owners need, and we'll check around. In town they have a memorial to the charge on Beersheba from the First War. If you haven't seen it before, there's a great Aussie movie. It's called the 40,000 Horsemen, I think it's called. If I got it wrong, I'll drop it in at the bottom. But either way, it's a great film. You should check it out. The other thing that we noticed while we're in the park today is there is a water point here, and there's also some power. So there's a couple of these posts that have the power point attached to them. All of these lights that come around the shelters that we reckon look really good at night. We just can't hang around today. And there's a water point. How good's that? You gotta love these outback towns. Would you like to buy a new statue for the house out? No. You think that'd fit in the van? No. So the main street of Dirranbandi is really nice to walk along, isn't it, Al?
It is lovely to walk along it.
It's got lots of little mosaics on the ground as you walk along. There's plenty of shops. There's everything here you need, isn't there?
Everything. Yep. Food, pharmacies.
Pub. There's also a motel, some accommodation. There's a caravan park here in town, and there's a great little cafe which is right next to the visitor centre on the park where we showed you a little bit earlier. That's the Dirranbandi bakery. You can smell it all the way down the street.
And it smells very nice.
Oh, it smells unbelievably good, but we're going to resist the temptation because we've already made up our minds that we're going to...
Stephen's resisting the temptation.
We're going to go out for dinner tonight when we get down to Hebel, so we'll do that and trying to keep a couple of kilos off this year.
Yes, healthier.
We spent last night in the border town of Hebel on our way down to New South Wales, and what a great little town. It's one of those typical Australian blink and you'll miss it type towns, but it comes with a general store and a fantastic pub. If you come here on a Wednesday, it's happy hour, so I can tell you that it was $6 for a schooner, which is pretty good value anyway. And yeah, great atmosphere, great pub. In fact, it rivals some of the great Aussie pubs. In fact, I'm even going to put it out there and say that if you are the type of person who likes to go out and visit the quintessential Australian pub, then put Hebel on your list and get yourself out here because it's great. We stayed in the caravan park last night, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that soon. But that was good, it was quiet. We decided that we'd hook onto a powered site. It cost us $22 for the night, which was well worth it because it's about 4,000 degrees out here at the moment, so being able to run the air conditioner all night was definitely a plus. But you can also stay in the caravan park for free, provided you don't hook up to water or power. So if you have a look on Wikicamps, or if you're following Wikicamps, you can see on there that it shows you there's free camping behind the pub, and there is. The room isn't as much as what it might indicate on Google Maps anymore because they put a lot of cabins in behind the pub, but there's still plenty of space to get down there in your van or your camper trailer. And then of course you've got the overflow going here into the caravan park, and I'll show you a little bit of the area that is free, and then I'll show you where we hooked up for the night. Alright, so this is the Hebel Caravan Park. All of the sites, well, the powered sites, are all drive-through, and you can see up the back there the open area, that's the free camping area. The toilets were absolutely immaculate, so were the showers. If you want to book in, it costs you $22 for a powered site. You do it all at the general store. You can also order meals, and directly across the road from the general store is the pub. What a great place to come and visit. When you order your meal at the general store, they give you a beeper, and you can go over the pub and then just come back over when it goes off. The pub here in Hebel was built in the late 1880s and has been going ever since. I think originally it was a Cobb & Co stop, very historic pub, and one of the very few pubs that we found out west that hasn't burnt down. What do you think of the Hebel Hotel, Al?
Very good.
Well, finally, after 10 months of travel and a little over 25,000 kilometres all around Queensland, we're just about to cross our first border and travel into New South Wales on our big lap of Australia. Last bog hole in Queensland. Well, we made it to Lightning Ridge. It's very warm. We're going to go and book into the Big 4 Caravan Park, stay down there for a couple of days and allow us to explore the area. Are you excited, Al?
I'm very excited to have a look in this area.
Oh, so am I. I'll tell you what, I'd be more excited if we find a bloody black opal, I tell you.
Oh, that would be lovely.
Anyway, we're going to do a little bit of fossicking while we're here, so we'll take you along and see what we find. Well, here we are in Lightning Ridge.
Yes, we're in Lightning Ridge.
Hang on, I've got my 2 pairs of glasses on again. Let me just get rid of one pair, so I'll get rid of those.
I'll sit up.
And we've done something that's quite unusual for Alison and I. We're in a caravan park.
Yes, and why are we in a caravan park?
Oh, because they've got electricity and it is stinking hot, so we've thrown on the air conditioner. And the other reason is because we're out of season, we've got a discounted rate. So we're here for 3 nights, and what it cost us out?
I think it was about $137 for the 3 nights, yes.
Yeah, and it's a real adventure for us because I think this is maybe the 3rd, possibly the 4th caravan park that we've ever stayed in since we started our lap. So for us, it's always new. And another big bonus here is they've got a pool.
Yes, the pool. The pool actually was quite nice. We went for a swim yesterday afternoon.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll give you a bit of a look around the caravan park, but today we're going to go out and we're going to do a mines tour, and we're doing the Chamber of the Black Hand mine tour. And there's 2 tours you can do out there. We've elected to do the mine, but you can also do a sculptures tour. So I'll try and share a little bit of video of the sculptures if I get the opportunity to do that. I think you do when you first walk in, just to give you a bit of a taste to what that looks like.
Yes.
It cost us, what was it, Al?
$48 each.
That's right, so $48 each. I think the tour goes for an hour or so.
Yeah, about an hour and 10, I think. Yeah.
And it just gets done with one of the local miners, but it looks really interesting. It's a very, very popular thing to do, and they heavily suggest, both here at the caravan park and the information centre we went there, that you need to get online, you need to book it because it fills up so fast.
Yes, definitely, especially in season, it is pumping.
It is, yeah. So anyway, enough talk. We'll take you for a bit of a look around the caravan park and we'll head out to the mine and show you what goes on out there for the tour. We can't really gauge how big caravan parks are because we don't stay in that often, but this joint's bloody enormous. It just goes for miles and miles. You get a good sized site, they're all drive through. Here's us here, we're on site 43. It's very close to the toilet block, which has been pretty good. But yeah, bore water. We run everything through our best filter anyway, so that's all good. Sullage points to get rid of, and of course your power. Down the back, just over there, there's a dump point, and there's also a car washing facility here. So you can go down and give your car and a van a wash. There's some fantastic showers, and they also had spotlessly clean toilets. A real credit to the van park. Really good laundry facility. They charge us $6 a load. Got plenty of machines, couple of dryers, and of course, because of just the nature of being out here at Lightning Ridge, plenty of clotheslines outside. There's a few camp kitchens scattered around the caravan park. They're all fully equipped, really good, all really clean and well looked after. And because of the way they've situated, doesn't matter where you stay in the park, you've got pretty easy access to it. Lots of green grass. And of course, with all caravan parks comes a chest set. Down by the pool, you'll find another camp kitchen. This one comes with a pizza oven, some tables, and of course the pool, which I've got to say is very, very relieving after a hot day out here. If you're not into your caravanning or camping, the van park also offers plenty of villas that you can come and stay at. In fact, we've seen a few people that have come in camper trailers and they've parked their trailers up next to the huts and they've moved into them. But something else available at the caravan park is a small fossicking area. So I'm going to come down and have a look around so we can find a fortune in opal. The fossicking area isn't a bad spot. We got on pretty good advice from one of the guys that works here. We don't know whether it's true or not, but someone found themselves a decent colour down here the other day when they were looking through, but that might be enough just to keep you motivated. But what I think they do is they just go out and they get the miners to pick up a bit of the overburden and they just throw it out here and let the tourists come in and pick around it. It's a good bit of fun.
It is a good bit of fun.
And you never know if you're going to find something, so I don't know if we'll spend too much time here. It's about 392 degrees at the moment, so we might just have a bit of a look around and might come back and it's a little bit cooler, but certainly there's been people down here digging. You can see digs everywhere.
You can see digs everywhere.
Check out that mine shaft.
Oh, and there's still a ladder down there.
Yeah. I'm going to call it a barrel. I'm not quite exactly sure what they call them, but these are a very common sight around Lightning Ridge. They use them to wash their rocks.
Far more efficient and uses less water, I believe.
Yeah.
Now it makes more sense.
There seems to be no shortage of this model truck sitting on mine sites all over Lightning Ridge, although it's great to see.
It is.
Well, this is what we found noodling, just worthless potch. Potch is opal, but it has no colour and no value. Well, here's something that we highly recommend that you do if you come out to Lightning Ridge, and it's the Chamber of the Black Hand Mine Tour. There's a sculptures tour that you can do. This is some of the sculptures you can see here on the screen right now. All of these were carved with a bread and butter knife, which is pretty bloody incredible if you ever think about that. But they go all around the mine. Ali and I decided that we would do the mine tour because we're fascinated in the way that they conduct the mining, particularly underground. It's quite cool down here. So you might like to bring a jumper along if you feel the cold, but let me tell you, it was a great relief from the 39 degrees it was outside. If you want to do the tour, it's imperative that you book your place online. You can't turn up and book at the venue, and you'll find it on the yellow car door tour route. And finally, why do they call it the Chamber of the Black Hand? Well, it might not be what you think it is. It's got more to do with the sign that used to be out on the 3 Mile Road, to let miners know that they're almost back in town. Like we told you, we're staying out at the caravan park, but if you don't want to pay for a caravan park when you come into town, there is a free camp. It's on the highway between the 2 turn-offs to Lightning Ridge. It's the rest area. You won't miss it because there's a massive emu sculpture on the other side of the road over there, which I'll take you over and show you in a second. But you can come in behind here and you can camp. There's plenty of area here. I don't know how long you can stay here for. You might have to check wiki camps. I did read a couple of reviews where people thought that people might have been out staying there welcome in these sorts of areas, but you know, I didn't think there'd be anything wrong with a couple of nights if you needed to. The rest area is also the place where Lightning Ridge got its name. It was named after a lightning strike which occurred in the late 1800s where a fellow lost his life, 600 sheep were killed and so was the guy's dog. So from there they proclaimed it as Lightning Ridge a town in about 1908. Here's something we'd never seen before. You'll just have to excuse the glare, but there's a big piece of metal here and it's designed that when you come in and use the rest area of a night, if you want to light up the toilets, you shine your headlights onto that plate which will reflect it up onto that mirror, and then it reflects it over here towards the toilet and lights it up. Never seen that anywhere else before, but geez, it's a great idea. Well, here's the big emu sculpture, and it's not until you get a little bit closer that you realise that its body's made out of an old V-dub. It's pretty good, isn't it? The sculpture is affectionately known as Stanley. He was created by John Murray. John's original plan was to have him out near Birdsville, obviously, but that didn't come off, so the Walgett Council agreed to have him put in near Lightning Ridge. But what he does do is he faces towards Birdsville. Well, we're out and about today around Lightning Ridge. We're going to do some what they call car door tours. There's 4 tours you can do in town. They're quite unique, in fact. They're all self-drive and self-guided. We've got all the information we needed from both the caravan park and from the information centre, but all they are is literally car doors painted a particular colour with a number on them, and all you've got to do is just marry it up to the tour brochure that they give you,
Yes, you do, yeah, and got a little bit of information here.
Yeah, it's good. So today we're going to do probably the red, maybe the blue and the yellow, and we're going to save the green till tomorrow night because it's supposed to be clear skies, and that's the one they recommend that you do for sunset. You get up there between 7:30 at night at this time of year, it being January at the moment. So anyway, we'll take you along for the day and see what we see. Alright, so first up we're going to do the red car door tour. Here's the car door hanging on the tree, number 1, and here's the information about it. There you go. What do you think of some of these houses now?
They're different.
They're very, very different.
I believe we're going to come up to a house that's built of stone and bottles.
Okay, so the house that's made of stone and bottles is pretty cool. I've got a feeling that when I was a kid they used to show a lot of this sort of stuff on the news because it was so unique. But you think about it today and it's such a economical way to live. The bottles provide some light and they probably do some sort of, I don't know, insulation to the house. They're really good.
Yes, there's the castle.
All right, so next stop on the tour is, I think it's called Amerigo Castle. Anyway, we're going to pull up and have a look. All right, my mistake. This is not Amigo Castle, this is Ridge Castle. You'll find it on the Red Car Door tour. It's just another quirky house out here in the Opal Fields. This one is an Airbnb, so you can come and stay here, but it's certainly something interesting to come and have a look at. There's some funny detail to it, particularly old Rapunzel. She's up there in the tower with her hair hanging down, but yeah, great stop along the way. Alrighty, well the next stop on the tour was the Ridge Castle. That was, it was unique, wasn't it, Al?
It was unique, it was quite funny.
There is, but what's not unique is the castle, because there's not only one castle here, there's two. And we're going to go to the second one very, very soon. We're just coming round off the loop, just shoot over this side over here, Al. That's an old tram, I think, or no, it's not, it's an old train car. And it's been converted into, well, let's just call it a house. Shelter. It's converted into something. Well, we come out to Amigo's Castle, which looks really good, but we can't go in because it's all closed for the season. So we'll get a few photos or we'll see whatever we can see, and we'll just have to move on. We've come to probably my favourite lookout so far, Lunatic Lookout. So the Lunatic Hill open cut mine gives you an example, or it shows you how where they find the opal in the ground here. So if you have a look at the top of the mine there, you can see it's a whitey colour stone that comes down. That's soils that are less than 1 million years old, and then it comes down into, you can see a second stage there in the middle, and finally a third stage along the bottom where the earth turns a lot redder. And that's the finchstone, and that's where the opal is found in that layer of dirt there. So they have to come down quite a ways to find it, but certainly it must have been a very rich mine in its day because it was able to run for over 100 years. We're just driving past a couple of ventilation shafts that go down, and they provide cooler air for the miners that are working about 20 metres underground. I don't know whether they're down there at the moment, but certainly that's what it's for. Okay, last tour on our list is the Green Door tour. We saved this one for sunset. It's a great drive up through the opal fields. Heaps of old equipment hanging around up there. Just need, once again, to be careful of the open mine shafts that you see because they're very, very deep. In fact, I think this one here, we couldn't see the bottom, but we reckon she went down at least 30 metres or so. Then you come out onto the lookout spot, which is also the site where the first shaft was drilled on Lightning Ridge, which was quite interesting in itself, and this is close to where the site is. And the other major attraction up here is the beer can house. The beer can house is something really interesting to look at. There is a refrigerator there inside. You'll find a visitor's book, so if you want to sign that, you can do that. The house is made entirely of beer cans and bottles. It's really unique in its construction, and as you look around, you can do a little bit of history of beer cans yourself. I think I started drinking around this model of Tui's, but yeah, great place. All of the windows are made of bottles. The reason they made them from bottles was because they had to buy the glass in Walgett and pay for it first, and most of it would break on the way up, so they got sick of doing that. So a lot of people put bottles in because they still got light, or some people even used a car door. Well, that's it for this week's episode. Ali and I really hope that you enjoyed it. Come and join us next week as we head out to a couple of crazy pubs just outside of Lightning Ridge that the locals describe as the Wild West. If you like today's episode, make sure you hit the like button before you leave, and if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you subscribe to our channel as well, because it's going to really help us grow into 2024. You have yourselves a great week, and we'll see you next Saturday at 9 o'clock. Bye bye.
See you next week.